is Valerie Zawicki, and I'm the team lead for Atemba. We are inventors in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize Competition. Atemba is a social enterprise focused on expanding breast cancer diagnosis in low-resource settings. Over 1.6 million women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. Despite the fact that the breast cancer incidence rate is pretty evenly split between developed and developing countries, triple the number of women living in a developing country die from breast cancer. Why should the location of a woman's home dictate her chance of survival? Many patients travel hundreds of miles to multiple hospitals and clinics before finally receiving a diagnosis. This results in significantly skewed fatality rates due to the high proportion of late-stage cancers in low-resource settings. How do we increase access to earlier diagnosis? The core needle biopsy device is the gold standard for breast cancer diagnosis. Current solutions on the market for core needle biopsies include expensive and wasteful disposable devices and expensive reusable devices with high risk of contamination. Atemba's solution is a low-cost, ergonomic, reusable biopsy device that completely eliminates the risk of internal contamination. The essential features of our device are the reusable driver and the disposable needles. Our disposable needles are designed to trap contamination from entering the reusable driver, making our device durable and easy to clean.
We've conducted 125 plus stakeholder interviews to ensure that our device not only meets our consumers' needs, but also distinguishes itself in the $570 million and growing core needle breast biopsy market. But most importantly for our team, our device within just the first 5 years on the market will impact the lives of 300,000 women and their families.
In Zulu, Atemba means hope. We aim to give all women hope with a chance to fight breast cancer.
Hi, my name is Mercy Esiedu and I'm an inventor in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize Competition. I led the development of the Color, a low-cost tool for cervical cancer screening.
What if we could bring cervical cancer screening to every woman's doorstep and potentially enable self-screening in the comfort of one's home? This is what the Color presents, an integrated hardware and software solution for self-cervical cancer screening. Each year, over 500,000 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer, and more than half of them die. Over 80% of these deaths occur in low and middle income countries due to screening limitations.
The reasons why women die from cervical cancer include the fact that they have poor screening habits. This is partly attributed to the fact that most people have issues to do with cost, issues to do with privacy during screening, and then issues to do with the discomfort during screening.
We overcome these limitations with the Colorscope, a low-cost imaging tool that replaces expensive colposcopes. It has an introducer that mitigates the need for the dreaded speculum, and it uses algorithms that provide risk assessments and integrates with a mobile application for patient data entry and cloud-based storage. We have found through clinical studies that 100% of women prefer the Colorscope over the traditional speculum exam. 100% of volunteers were able to successfully find their cervixes on the first try, and the algorithms have been validated to show diagnostic accuracy on par with expert physicians.
It is for this reason that the Colorscope comes in very handy to augment cervical cancer screening.
Hello, we are the Bioenergy Project.
And we are inventors in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize Competition. Do you know that 40% of the food waste in the U.S. is wasted by being thrown into landfills? This takes up space, leaches contaminants into drinking water, and releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere from both the rotting food waste and the trucks used to deliver it. Now, take into account an Iowa State University study that found that the average distance your food travels from farm to your fork is 2,000 miles.
Our system takes 1,000 pounds of food waste from 3 local restaurants per week and uses it to create liquid fertilizer that can grow produce such as basil and biogas for heating or electricity. The nutrients in the food waste are broken down in large anaerobic digestion tanks into smaller molecules like ammonia, methane, and sulfur by anaerobic bacteria. Next, an aeration system introduces oxygen back into the digestate and converts it into hydroponic-ready fertilizer. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide and methane gases are collected to be used for natural gas heating, cooking, and electricity generation.
With its simple design and use of repurposed food-grade barrels and totes, our system can be easily scaled down to a family size using smaller containers or up to a larger commercial size through existing systems that are efficiently chained together. This design can squeeze into small spaces, including alleys or kitchens, which meets the high demand of compact urban restaurants and supermarkets searching for an aesthetic, functional product.
The Bioenergy project seeks to capitalize on $3.5 billion of potential market revenue from food waste collection, organic fertilizer, produce, and biogas from United States higher education institutes. UC San Diego joins universities across the country in establishing zero waste and carbon neutrality goals. And to accomplish these, we will be collaborating with UCSD and Impact Bioenergy to construct a digester and implement our system in the campus's new dining hall.
Localized, compact design to its cyclical approach to food waste repurposing and greenhouse gas reductions, the Bioenergy project is creating a healthier planet for the environment and for humanity.
My name is Julie Bliss-Mullen, co-founder and CEO of Eclarity, and inventor in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize Competition. The devastating water crisis in Flint, Michigan left 60% of society with a lack of trust in U.S. drinking water. And because of this, 80 million homes are looking for a solution to protect their families from growing water quality issues. I founded Eclarity 2 years ago with a passion and commitment to provide sustainable water solutions through invention and commercialization by developing a patent-pending electrochemical water purification technology that will ensure clean water for families globally. This device is the first decentralized mini-water treatment plant for homes to be installed where the water enters the house, ensuring clean water throughout. Here's how it works. Water passes through the device where reactions take place between the anode and the cathode. Fast-reacting chemicals are generated, which disinfect bacteria and viruses, destroy harmful toxins, and remove metals from water while normalizing pH. All this is done with no brine to manage, no water wasted, or filters to replace, and uses small amounts of electricity equivalent to an LED light bulb, easily powered with renewable sources such as solar.
When you think of water treatment solutions, you usually think of something like a Brita filter or maybe a reverse osmosis system that has a membrane. What's different about our technology is that we actually destroy contaminants. We use electricity to zap a contaminant out, so it's a chemical change as opposed to a physical change. We're changing water purification, changing the paradigm of water purification. Because the technology is so scalable, there's many different applications. It's not just a home solution. This can be scaled all the way up to a municipal size. Our primary focus has been in the residential water treatment market. So we're working with a residential leader to help us commercialize a product just like this. This is something that a homeowner doesn't have right now. And if you go all the way up the chain to a municipal system, they're still adding chlorine, they're still doing all of the filtration that's necessary. This is going to change all that.
Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Morgan.
And we are founders of Portal Entryways and inventors in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize Competition.
Doors and stairs are the two things I hate most in life.
The trouble with doors, I think the biggest thing that I face is it closing on me.
Portal is actually a new way that people in wheelchairs can gain access to buildings. We created a device which actually attaches to the motor that's already on the door. Then they can download our Portal app, and every time they come up to a door now, the door will actually open on approach seamlessly, so they can just simply go in the building without having to worry about the buttons anymore.
Portal works using Bluetooth Low Energy. We developed a unique advertising and communication protocol that allows us to create a completely hands-free solution for the user. The app runs in the background and uses less than 1% to 2% of daily battery. The door receiver and phone communicate when they are nearby in order to approximate the distance the user is from the door. We developed a filter that allows us to do this quickly and with better accuracy than other solutions. After testing dozens of prototypes, we came up with a solution that can easily be installed on any automatic disabled door in a few minutes.
One of the guys showed me, what they were working on, and I was like, what the freak, is it even possible? And it was so cool, and I was excited, and I felt like it would, open the doors for me, I guess, to be more independent.
We are currently pilot testing with universities and other public facilities. With the number of automatic disabled doors in the United States, this represents a $2.6 billion market opportunity and has the potential to create dozens of high-paying jobs in the next few years.
Our hope is that Portal becomes the new standard of accessible entryways. We believe that with the technology we created, we can make a world that is more accessible for everyone.
My name is Federico Scurti. I'm an inventor in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize competition. So superconductivity is the ability of a material to carry electrical current without resistance. So that means no power losses, and there's no energy required to keep the current flowing. Obviously, this is a great property, but there's a problem. Every superconducting material is able to destroy itself just by transitioning from the superconducting to the normal state. So there is no way to predict when the material is going to fail. The most difficult part actually comes when one tries to protect from damage or from failure the high temperature superconducting materials. So this is why I've been trying to develop a different system to basically detect failures or incipient failures in a high temperature superconducting system. My primary invention, which is what I call the smart conductor, is a superconducting wire that, in addition to being able to carry current without resistance like any other superconducting material, it is also able to monitor itself. My invention basically consists of adding an optical fiber inside the architecture and using the optical fiber as a sensor of strain and temperature. And this sensing ability is distributed along the wire with a very high spatial resolution. This is crucial because superconducting systems, although they might be compact when you look at them, but in terms of the length of the wire, that length is usually in the order of the kilometer. So my inventions are an enabling technology for high-speed trains or high-power density and high-efficiency motors, or superconducting generators, fusion reactors, and particle accelerators. So as far as commercialization goes, we have been partnering very closely with different startups and national labs, and we have interest from many companies. There is a really large unrealized potential of superconducting materials, especially high-temperature superconductors.
My name is Arnav Kapoor, and I'm an inventor in the Lemelson-MIT Student Prize competition. If you look at the history of personal computing, we've always had a dualistic relationship with computers. We always treat them as external devices, desktops, smartphones, and even artificial intelligence tools. What if we could flip this paradigm and take a more synergetic approach, where computing and AI function more as an extension of the human experience? To that end, I led the development of Alter Ego, a wearable interface and a novel architecture to silently communicate with computers and people in real time. I wanted to build an interface that not only augments our abilities, but that also has ethical considerations baked into the design and does not invade human privacy. Instead of reading from the brain directly, the system measures downstream signal from the speech system when an internal speech muscle is neurologically and volitionally engaged. A combination of sensor hardware and algorithms is able to isolate these subtle electrical signals sourced internally and translate into language in real time without an observable action. The speech system is treated like a combination of extremely tiny batteries, and subtle changes in the electrical field are isolated. Audio and sensory feedback to the user is provided through bone conduction.
It's 39 degrees and cloudy in Boston.
The system has applications in many domains, such as searching for information, human memory augmentation, and telecommunications, all done silently and internally. There are upwards of 7.5 million people in the United States alone who suffer from a speech impediment. Conditions such as stroke, ALS, and cerebral palsy. Alter Ego could help people with these conditions communicate with other people and give them a voice. It is my hope that such a system would truly augment our cognitive abilities like never before.